get more books at the vendor hall, where are we gonna put them all?
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. This is going to be a fun one. Tomorrow morning, my husband Josh and I are leaving to go to Branson, Missouri for the Teach Them Diligently Homeschool Convention. We love this convention. This is going to be actually our 8th year going to this convention. The first year in Branson, but our 8th year nonetheless. So we love it. We look forward to it every year. I am getting dinner ready right now, and then I'm going to be packing and getting a few more things wrapped up so we can leave bright and early tomorrow morning. Not only are we going to the convention, but I figured I would just take you along with us for our little getaway, homeschool mom and dad getaway. So this will be kind of a vlog style video, and it'll just give you a really good feel for what the convention is like, and maybe you'll get some new ideas along the way as well. All right, so we are on the road. We are heading out of, I guess we're not really in St. Louis, but our home St. Louis area. We're heading towards Branson. We've got about a 4-hour drive this morning, so not too bad. It's actually Wednesday. The conference doesn't start until tomorrow morning, so we will have sessions on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then we'll be driving home on Sunday. But we're heading down tonight. We're actually going to go to the Sight and Sound Theater in Branson. I've never been, and I've always wanted to go. So Josh got tickets for us, and we're going to go see the Esther performance, and then probably find some place to do dinner and just have a fun night before the Teach Them Diligently convention starts tomorrow. So kids are at home. Josh's sister stays with them, and she's done that for most of the years that we've done this convention, so they always look forward to hanging out with her when we travel. So they're gonna have a lot of fun, and we're just looking forward to getting away for a few days, getting refreshed and encouraged and inspired by all the great speakers and vendors at the convention. So one of the things I'm going to be doing on our drive is I've got my printed out schedule of all of the different speakers, and I have marked which ones that I want to go see. But what I need to do is go onto the Teach Them Diligently app and select them on there. So that is usually the best way to see where the rooms are going to be. If there are any changes, they kind of notify us through the app. So I'm going to go make sure everything matches up. This is the most advanced prep work that I have done. Usually I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants when we get there, but I figured I should take a look at this and maybe plan out what I'm going to see. There are some good speakers, and I'm excited to kind of give you guys some updates from that. We're also looking forward to listening to some podcasts. We usually do that as we're driving. Usually Allie Beth Stuckey. We listen to Heidi St. John, and I'm trying to remember what's the guy's name from Stand to Reason. We listen to the Stand to Reason podcast, and I can't think of his name right now, but that's what we'll probably be listening to as we head to Branson. All right, so we have never been to a Buc-ee's before. It's about lunchtime, and I heard they're pretty popular. My little one has seen them on YouTube and was asking about going to one a while back, and I had no idea what he was talking about. So we are passing one on the road. I think we're going to stop here. I don't think we need any gas, but I don't know, let's just stop and stretch our legs for a little bit, maybe see if they have anything that we can grab for lunch. All right, well, we've now experienced Buc-ee's. That was pretty, I don't know, I didn't know what to expect. We didn't get lunch. They had a lot of lunch options, but we're really picky, so we're just gonna go to Subway. This is all we walked out with, is this hat for my 5-year-old who loves hats and loves Buc-ee's. So yeah, I don't know. The bathrooms were world famous. They had a sign, world famous bathrooms.
They were clean.
Yeah, they were really clean. They had hand sanitizer in the bathroom stall. And they had sinks. So I don't know, I was pretty impressed, but just nothing else that we wanted to buy except this hat. So I think we're gonna go get some Subway and then be back on the road. right, we just made it to the Sight and Sound Theater. It looks beautiful from the outside, but we're gonna go in and watch Esther, and then afterwards probably find some place to grab dinner and then head to our hotel for the night. All right, so we made it to our hotel. We had a busy day. What time is it? Do you have a watch?
9:03.
9:03. So we left our house at...
Supposed to be 8.
We left at 9.
Left at 9.
And it's like a 4-hour drive, but we had a lot that we did today, so...
4-hour drive, got it at 9.
Yep,
That's
so...
12 hours of travel.
Yeah, but we did things while we were here. So we got here, we did go to the Sight and Sound Theater. It was amazing. We saw Esther. I think they're only showing that for a couple more weeks or months, I don't know. David is going to be the next one that they're showing, but it was really good. I love theater and musicals and things like that, so to be there, they just had a stage all around you. They had animals in there, really talented actors and actresses. They had an elephant. It looked like a real elephant. I don't think it wasn't a real elephant, but it looked really real. But yeah, that was great. So if you are looking for something to do in Branson, definitely check out the Sight and Sound Theater. Okay, so after Sight and Sound Theater, we were ready for dinner. It was about 6:30, and so we found a Thai restaurant. We went and had some great Thai food. And then after that, we went to Walmart because I forgot a lot of things at home. So when we were at Walmart, I got some socks. And these are actually socks from the girls section, like the kids section, but for adult socks, they had, how many was 14. In there? Like 14 pairs? 14 pairs. I feel like it was more than that. It was a lot of socks, and I didn't need that many socks. I don't even need 10 pairs. I needed maybe like 3 pairs to get me through the rest of this week. But got some socks. This was the best I could do. They should fit me size 4 to 10, and then maybe my girls can use some of the other socks. So I also had to get a little measuring cup because I'm kind of strange and I measure out the coffee creamer that I put in my coffee because it's got to be the same amount every time. And I didn't bring a little measuring cup, so we got this. Then we had to go next door to the grocery store to get creamer. So I got creamer, trying to save a little bit of money on coffee, even though we're right next to a Starbucks. Got some gum, and then I had to get a notebook because this is our 8th year at Teach Them Diligently, and I've been using the same notebook every single year, and I've been adding to my notes, and it's just it's packed full with so much knowledge and wisdom from my years at Teach Them Diligently, and I left it at home. So I had to find a new notebook. I settled on this one.
How long did it take us to pick this out?
It took forever. They didn't have very many good choices. This one is small enough to fit in my purse. It's not spiral bound. I usually prefer spiral bound, but it lays flat enough. So I think it's gonna work. And it has a bookmark, so...
We tried putting about 5 different books into her purse at different points in time. I'm pretty sure security was watching us.
Luckily, yeah, I mean, they didn't think we were going to steal it. We weren't going to steal it. We were just making sure that it would fit. But yeah, this is what we settled on. So new notebook for convention. Going to fill this up with lots of good gems from the speakers tomorrow. And then I think that's it. What did we do? Then we just came to the hotel. So the Holiday Inn Express that we're staying at it seems like it's in a really good location. We're only 8 minutes away from where the convention is going to be tomorrow. So really quick drive in the morning. This is right by the Walmart's right next door, a grocery store. There's a Starbucks right there.
Taco Bell.
Shoney's, yeah. So it seems like it's in a good location. They're doing some renovation on the hotel. Don't know if the fitness room is available or not. That's questionable, but they've got hot breakfast in the morning, so we should be pretty good to go. And I'm not sure, my schedule is packed away in my purse still, but we need to look and see what time we need to get there tomorrow morning and what our first session is going to be. So we are going to get settled in, and then I will give you guys a recap in the morning before we head out to check in at Teach Them Diligently and go to our first session. All right, you guys, it is Thursday morning and we're about ready to head to our check-in and then the first session. It is, I don't know what time it is. We had to unplug the clock because it was buzzing, but it is time to check in at Teach 'em Diligently, and I just wanted to give you a rundown of some of the sessions that we're going to be going to today. So the first one is going to be at 10:30. It's from Steve Noble. Christian Ethics, is your student ready for the culture war? I haven't heard him speak before. There's actually a lot of speakers that I haven't heard before that are going to be new to me. So we're going to see him. We're going to go see Sharon Fisher. She's from BJU Press, talking about helping our kids develop critical thinking skills. I think that'll be good. And then let's see, we have Heather Bitterling, the Pied Piper, how the media is leading our children astray and what you can do about it. That one looked interesting. And then Israel Wayne, I love hearing him speak. This session is Common Mistakes Christian Parents Make. And then my husband is going to see Norm Wakefield. He is one of my husband's favorite speakers. So both of those are going to be really good. I had considered going to see Patty speak. She is the leader of American Heritage Girls, which my girls did for a couple of years, but ultimately decided on these two sessions. We're gonna split up to attend. And then we're going to see Trisha Goyer. Todd Wilson was also a contender for this one. He is a great speaker. I highly recommend going to one of his sessions if you ever have a chance to, but I have seen him before, so I've not heard Trisha Goyer speak. So we're gonna learn about cultivating a love of learning and God. And then later on in the day, it looks like there's going to be a really good session on navigating the high school years. So I'm looking forward to that. We're still a couple of years away, but I like to be prepared and just soak in what I can, what I'm going to need to know about that. And then there is a keynote. I'm not familiar with this person either, and it didn't give any information about what the keynote is going to be on, so that should be really interesting. And then the exhibit hall doesn't open until the end of the day, so we will do that at the very end of the night. Good morning, you guys. It is day 2 of the Teach 'em Diligently convention. Yesterday was our first day. We had a very busy day. We were out from first session started around 10:30, and then we didn't get home until 10:30 at night. So very full day. We enjoyed the sessions a lot. A lot of times there are sessions that we either will skip so we can go eat lunch, or we might leave in the middle of a session if we didn't really like it, but all the sessions we attended were really good, and we didn't eat lunch all day, so it was a good thing that I brought some snacks. Definitely bring snacks with you if you attend a big homeschool convention like this, because you know, sometimes you have a break, sometimes you don't, sometimes you're not really near food. But so far this location has been really good. We're enjoying being in Branson. They have food that's within walking distance of the convention. Josh is coming back right now. He was gonna run into Starbucks to get some drinks for some friends, but I guess he didn't have very much luck. No luck?
Gas stations and Walmarts only.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we were gonna pick up some Frappuccino drinks for a friend. They had a funny incident yesterday as they were driving in, so it's kind of a joke, but we're gonna have to stop at a gas station, I think. So where was I? We hopped on last night to actually give a recap of the sessions and kind of our big takeaways of the sessions. And it was supposed to be a really short recap, and it ended up we're talking for like 20 or 30 minutes. So I think what I'm gonna do is maybe post a separate video just kind of sharing our big takeaways from the convention. And I apologize in advance because I talked way more than Josh did, and I kind of barely let him get a word in, so I'm really sorry about that.
Never happens.
Maybe today will be a little bit better. So if you guys are interested, you can watch out for that video just to hear some of our more in-depth takeaways from the convention yesterday. But really quick before we head in today, I just wanted to share, I think there were like 4 things that I really took home that, I left the session thinking, okay, this is something that I really want to focus on or be intentional about and make sure that I'm kind of implementing in our homeschool. So one of the sessions was about critical thinking. And so it was really about making sure we're asking our kids questions and allowing them to do the hard thinking for themselves, that we're not always just telling them or giving them answers. I like to have answers all the time, but it's so important to really help our kids develop critical thinking skills. So when they have questions, really helping them to wrestle with it, helping them know where to find the answers, where to look things up, how to go to the scripture. My kids are getting the age where they're having a lot of faith questions. So teaching them, how do I find what the Bible says about this? And things like that. I thought those were some really good takeaways from that session that I attended. One of the speakers that I went to, this is point 2, she gave a quote from Jim Rohn that said, "We are an average of the 5 people that we hang out with the most." And I thought, well, okay, that's pretty convicting. But I hang out with some pretty good people. I feel, pretty good about that. But then she followed that up with, is one of those people Jesus? And that kind of gave me a pause. And then she was even talking about, okay, is one of, the people that your kids are hanging out with the most Jesus? And that really made me think, because, would I say that Jesus is one of the people that I hang out with the most? I don't know. I have to think about that. But I thought that was a really good piece of information to reflect on and just make sure that I'm implementing in my daily life. My relationship with him should come above everything else. That was fast.
Success.
All right. Okay, so that was 2. I said I had 4. Let me think. What was the other one? Oh, Israel Wayne. That was probably my favorite session from yesterday. He's always really good. I've read a lot of his books. There are a couple that I have at home that I'm realizing I haven't read. They're more devotional type books, so I want to pull those out and read through those at home. And then he has a parenting book that I haven't read. I might pick that up at the vendor hall today. But he had some really good points in his session. One big takeaway was to make sure that in our parenting, we are really but realizing that it's important that our kids are regenerated, right? That they can't do all the things that we want them to do, especially in terms of character, and without the Holy Spirit, without the guidance of the Holy Spirit, right? We can't expect unholy children to be holy, right? Is that how he said it? Unholy children to be holy. Maybe he probably said it way better than that, but yeah,
I wasn't there.
he went to Norm Wakefield, but it was like I said, he says it better. But the main point was not to fall into moralism in our parenting. So when our kids are making a mistake, are we, pointing them to Jesus, or are we just falling into the trap of do better, try harder next time, like taking them and showing them what they did wrong and trying to show them what they did right, instead of really getting to the heart of the sin problem in their life. So that was a really good session. He, like I said, great material. Check out his books. Oh, I put it over here, our parking pass. It costs money to park. That's the one big complaint that I have so far. Is the other venues we've been at, we didn't have to pay parking, but it was $45 for a 3-day 72-hour parking pass. So we did have to pay for parking. I wasn't expecting that. So just know that if you were coming to Branson, they are going to be in Branson next year. They're going to be in Pigeon Forge and Branson again. Okay, let's see. I have to think about what the last, I said I was going to share 4, and now I can't remember what my last one was going to be. Okay, I had to look because I really forgot, but I jotted it down. Another big takeaway was there are a lot of parents who had kids that had graduated or were much older that they had homeschooled, and a couple of times I heard, they didn't necessarily know what their kids were going to do, what career they were going to have when they were younger, and just a big blessing of homeschooling was allowing them to be involved in lots of different opportunities and really kind of learning what the Lord had gifted their children with, and trusting that, you know, God had a plan for them, and that even if they didn't know all the time what that plan was, that, you know, they just had to do what they were called to do every day, and just trust God with their kids. And I just thought that was great, because right now, I mean, my oldest is only going into 7th grade, but I feel like I have no clue what, you know, they're going to do. Are they going to go to college? Are they going to, you know, go to work in a trade? Are they going to start a business? I have no idea. So just learning to let go of some of those worries and anxieties sometimes, and just trust that God has a plan for our kids is really important. Okay, so those were some big takeaways. Like I said, I'm going to try to get out that other video of Josh and I kind of chatting. We were really tired last night, but just sharing a couple more takeaways from our sessions. Today, I have my schedule here, so I'm going to try to see what are we going to. The first session today that we're attending is family devotions with lamplighter books. I'm not familiar with lamplighter books, but we love doing read alouds, and so I thought that would be an interesting one. We're splitting up for this one. You are going to humongous historical discoveries that confirm the Bible. So we're splitting up for the first session. We're splitting up for the second session too. I'm going to a session on what's going on with your middle schooler and how to prepare them for high school. And you are going to understanding your artistic child. And that's by I think. Well, I really wanted him to go to this because we do have an artistic child, and I feel like it's hard for me because I tend to treat all the kids the same sometimes, and I'm not as good at teaching to them differently based on their strengths. So that's hard for me. So I'm hoping you're going to come back with some good notes that can help transform our homeschool. So don't let me down.
No pressure.
So we'll probably chat about that later too. Okay, after that we are going to Kathy Cock is doing a session on raising resilient kids who embrace life with confidence. And then we're going to go to that together. Then Linda Hobar is speaking on the Middle East for teens and tweens. So that's going to be really good. And then it's another full day of sessions, but we do get a lunch break today, and we do have shopping time somewhere in here. So we'll finally get to go to the convention hall. Then the session is the burgeoning parallel economy. Enhance your home and homeschool with companies that share your values. We're going to that one together too. And then the last session, there wasn't really anything that looked good to me. So I think we're going to go try to grab dinner somewhere tonight. So, all right, another full day. That's going to take us till 6:10 p.m. And then we will have dinner and probably pop on tonight with some of our takeaways from that. I will try to come on tomorrow and share a couple of notes with you guys. But yeah, let's do it. We're almost there.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
Good morning, you guys. It is day 3 of the Teach Diligently Homeschool Convention. Saturday, last day. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We had some great sessions that we listened to. We went to the vendor hall yesterday. Don't have a ton of time to recap right now, so Josh and I did do a little session recap video that I will get posted. So if you're curious about all of the wisdom we gleaned from the speakers there, you'll definitely want to go check out day 2 of that. But right now we're going to go pick up a friend to take her to the convention, and then we've got a great lineup of speakers today. We're going to see Heidi St. John. We're going to see Kathy Cook. I learned that that's how you say her name, Kathy Cook. Norm Wakefield, yes. I'm actually going to get to see him speak. I haven't listened to one of his sessions personally yet. And we're going to see Todd Wilson, who is always just really encouraging and uplifting. So I'm really looking forward to his session. So It is about 8:30 in the morning right now. Heidi starts at 9. We are running fashionably late as usual, but I think we'll make it in time. Her sessions are usually pretty crowded, so hopefully we'll find a good seat. And it's gonna be another full day. We go until about I don't know, 5 or 6. Probably grab dinner, and we're not heading home until tomorrow morning. So looking forward to our final day at the convention, being encouraged, inspired, and ready to go back home and just give our kids some big hugs and see them again.
We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon, side by side and through. No limit to what we can do.
Hey you guys, we just got back from the Teach 'em Diligently convention. We got home just about an hour or so ago, got unpacked, said hi to the kids, and so I just wanted to pop on to kind of finish up this video and show you some of the things that I got at the vendor hall at the convention. Mainly I got books this year. I have most of my curriculum already kind of planned out and purchased for next year, so I found a lot of books that I picked up to read with my kids or to read for myself. So wanted to show you what I picked and I don't know, just maybe share some new things with you that you hadn't heard of before or that you might be interested in. So this is the bag that I got when I registered. So they usually have some kind of bag with some different brochures in it. There was a map of the convention center, a list of all the sessions, and this is the same bag actually that we've gotten the past couple of years there. So I don't think that this really changes year to year, but it's nice to just have a little extra bag to carry around at the vendor hall, carry notebooks in, pens, all those types of things. I did stop by the Caruso booth because I just think they have the cutest shirts. And so I got this shirt for myself, and they didn't have matching shirts for kids, but my daughters often like to wear, they like to match me still. It doesn't match perfectly, but it has the same verse on it. So I did pick up this shirt and I got 2 of them for each of my girls. So I think it's really cute that they like to dress like mom still. So I'm going to feed into that for as long as they will let me do that. And then I picked up this shirt for my son. I thought it was really cute. He's doing chemistry right now with Science Shepherd. Actually, he just finished chemistry and is doing a little bit of physics, but he really likes it, and I just thought this was a cute shirt. They have really nice, comfortable shirts with scripture on them. They're funny, so go check out Caruso, Kerusso, if you have a chance. Okay, the only other thing that I bought that was not a book were some chocolates. It's a big surprise, right? We bought chocolate. I hadn't heard about this company before. They had a really good, I don't know if that's gonna be very clear, but it's called Verse Chocolate. And they were sponsoring Kathy Cook. They were at her booth, and they are just little sleeves of chocolate. They were going around and putting them on everybody's seat and just giving them away at the booth. So they were really good. 70% dark chocolate. I love dark chocolate, but I don't love dark chocolate that is too bitter. This is made, I believe, by a homeschool family. I wanted to hop on their website and see if I could learn a little bit more about them, but they, I think, are involved in the entire process of making the chocolate, and they leave out the extra sugar, so there's little sugar in here, but it doesn't taste bitter like some, 70% dark chocolate, I feel like that's usually really bitter, but this was really good. So we picked up a box of this to support them, and yeah, so it's really good. Check them out, Verse Chocolate. Okay, on to the books. So here's what I grabbed. My son and I, my 5-year-old, just finished reading through The Ology, okay, by the same author, Marty Makowski, I think is how you say his name. And we really liked it. That is just a good beginning theology book for kids told in very readable, story-like form, made it even really enjoyable for me to understand. They do have it where they have questions and different things you can go through if you wanted to make it kind of more of a lesson, but we simply just read through like a chapter every night before we went to bed, and he really liked it. We'll continue to go through it because it has great building blocks of teaching theology to kids. But when I was at the vendor hall, I saw this book. It looks very similar to the theology book, but it's called Wonderful, Ancient Psalms Ever New. So I grabbed this, and it's, again, very much the same style, but it goes through different psalms and has just kind of a story and a little lesson explaining and talking about each one. So I thought this would be a really good follow-up that we could read at night since we just finished the other one. And then he had one more book that was new, and it was all about, I want to say, I think it was like the book of Acts. I want to say it was something to do with the early church and church history. I could be wrong about that, but it looked like it was maybe a little bit better for older kids. I didn't grab it, but I'm excited about this one. Okay, and then I grabbed this book from Tricia Goyer. I haven't read anything from her yet. I loved listening to her in her sessions. She's written so many books. And so we stopped by her booth. She had what looked like some really interesting historical fiction books, including this one. We had just seen Esther at the Sight and Sound Theater. So she was talking about this book in her session and talking about the history and some of the really interesting things that she learned as she was researching this book. And so I picked it out. I thought it would be really interesting to read. Jewel of Persia, Esther's Story. All right. And then I did buy a book from Kathy Cook's Screens and Teens, Connecting with Our Kids in a Wireless World. We are not by any means a screen-free family. We definitely we've talked about, our kids love games. We believe in teaching our kids, good technology habits, because they're gonna need it as they go through this world. And my husband loves gaming. I use the computer a lot for work and lots of technology. So we definitely try to instill healthy habits with our kids. And I think that's really important. But there are things that I think we need to be aware of as we use technology, as we let our kids use it, and as we just allow it into our lives. So I enjoy listening to her speak. I thought this would be a good book to read, and I'm curious to see if it just gives me any more tips or things that I can use as I'm teaching and training my kids. Just one more thing to add to the arsenal. What else? Okay, I had to buy a book from Israel Wayne, Raising Them Up. This is one of his books that I actually don't have. I think I have most of them. And I do have one called Full-Time Parenting that I read maybe like 8 years ago. Great parenting book. And so I asked them at the booth if this was similar to that. And they said that this is written later, and it was more when his kids got a little bit older. So it involves things that older kids sometimes deal with and what parents need to keep in mind as they are raising them up. So I thought this would be a good follow-up to that other book that I really enjoyed, Full-Time Parenting. And if you do have little kids, I highly recommend that book. Go check out his website at familyrenewal.org, and you can see all the resources that he has. Great books there. We're almost done. I didn't buy too many more books, but I did buy a lot of books. This one just looked interesting to me. The Prophecy Pros Illustrated Guide to Tough Questions About the End Times. I love eschatology and learning about the end times. I think it's just really fun to learn about. I'm not one of those people who thinks, obviously I know we can't predict when Jesus is coming back, but learning about all the different prophecies, all the different views on end times. And I was looking through this, and it's just has a lot of cool illustrations, and it's kind of question and answer format. And in Bible Study Fellowship, we're going to be going through the book of Revelation next year. And I thought this would be a really cool companion to that, as my kids are learning about the book of Revelation, and they might have questions. And sometimes I have questions too, and just would be nice to have something to reference that is a biblical resource, lots of biblical support throughout this book. So I thought this would be a really great one to have. I picked this book up. This kind of went off of his session. He had a session kind of about this, about living and walking closely with Jesus and letting Jesus love people through us. So I got this book, my husband got the audiobook, and I'm excited to work through this one. My husband also picked up a couple of his Bible studies. These are called Walking Worthy as a Son of God, and he picked up one for himself and one for my son. I think he's gonna go through and do that Bible study with my son. Okay, and then the last books that I picked up were from the Lamplighters booth. And you know, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but these are totally books that if I walked by the booth every year that we've been at convention and I never picked them up. I don't know, just the style. Some of you guys probably like this style, like the old books, and it just doesn't appeal to me. So I usually just walk right by it. But I did go to one of their sessions, and I will give a little recap of that in a future video, but I loved the session and it encouraged me to go by the booth and pick up, I got 3 books. These are gonna be for read alouds to do with our family. This first one, I got the last copy, The Hidden Hand. So basically this company takes old books and reprints them. So an old book, The Hidden Hand, this was the family that was volunteering with Lamplighter recommended this. This was their favorite book. They said they've read it, you know, they've cycled through it every year. So I just had to pick this one up. And then they recommended a couple other ones that I thought sounded interesting for my kids, Prisoners of the Sea, and then The Basket of Flowers. These were just 3 books that they talked about in their session that they really loved. So I grabbed those to add to our read aloud time, which we really like to do every night as a family. I thought that would be something new and interesting to try out. All right, you guys, well, that is what I got at the convention. I hope you enjoyed seeing my finds. This is really the first year that I didn't buy any curriculum, mainly just books. So I'm really excited about it. And it's good to be home. We already do have our tickets for next year. We just love it so much. And if you were there this year, or you know, if you've been in years past, I'd love to hear from you in the comments, just sharing what you thought, what you really liked about it, because there's just something about being at a convention like this where you are just filled up with encouragement, with biblical wisdom. It just, you know, makes you more appreciative to be able to homeschool and to be doing this job, even though it's hard. And so I hope you guys enjoyed kind of coming along with me and seeing just a little peek into the convention. My husband Josh and I are doing a couple videos where we recapped every night that we went. We kind of sit down and chat about the sessions we attended and what our big takeaways were. You get a lot of information in the session. So we just kind of talked about what are some things that we are going to take home and start implementing or encourage us to make changes. So I'm gonna try to have those videos up in the next couple of days. So if you're interested in hearing some important things that we learned or our thoughts on that, you can be watching out for those. But thanks again, you guys. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you follow along on my channel and continue to hopefully be blessed by homeschooling content and encouragement. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
You and I can weather